Welcome to this module on the Exige motivational system. What we're going to do is help you discover the secret sauce that goes into attracting and retaining the very best candidates using the Exige motivational system. You're going to learn how to get the most out of your existing teams while also taking away some motivational tips that you can implement straight away. What is it that you're looking for when you recruit a new member of your team? It's performance. You want the person to get things done within a certain time to a certain quality and then repeat this throughout their employment. If that's an accountant, that really means you need them to be creating amazing spreadsheets, delivering their work on time that's highly accurate. If it's a salesperson, you need them to be knocking on doors, finding new leads, and repeat that day in, day out. So, how do we achieve performance in an organization? Let's break it down, because there are two components. The talent element is what is contributed by the individual. It's what they will bring to the work every single day. And then the second part is conditions. These are the tools, the technology, the environment that are contributed by the organization. Are you giving that highly skilled engineer all of the equipment they need to be the most efficient, the most capable engineer out there? When you are recruiting, this will influence the talent element of this equation. You will be recruiting for the most talented candidates that you can identify, and then creating the right conditions for them to optimize their performance within. Having talented candidates is what is key to consistent performance within your organization. So what makes up talent? We've created an equation which we believe is a very clear explanation of what exactly goes into talent. And it is this: talent equals ability plus relevant, motivated experience multiplied by time. Ability is your natural affinity for a certain task. That may be that you're just someone who is able to make people laugh. It may be that you're a natural mathematician. It may be that you know how to bring a room of arguing people together. Those are just your natural abilities. Then we have relevant, motivated experiences. Now, these are the right types of practice with the right type of motivation. This could be an example of a salesperson taught how to close a sale on the phone. And they need to be given the right incentives to continually replicate that scenario. Your ability and the relevant motivated experiences that you have develop over time. So the more you practice, the more work that you do, the more you improve. It's a simple equation. Of the components for talent, the one that is most easily influenced is motivation. Motivation affects the following things: employee day-to-day performance, employee talent development, employee retention, new candidate attraction. So how does employee motivation work? Well, this is where the Exige motivational system really comes into play. Employees are motivated by 5 factors, and they are: impact, does their work make a difference? Power, do they feel respected? Learning, are they having new experiences? Teamwork, do they have people they like working with around them? Work-life balance, is their life and work in equilibrium? Do they have enough time for both their professional and private life? Each employee has different levels of sensitivity to each of these 5 factors. The more sensitive an employee is to a certain factor, the bigger the impact that factor will have on their performance. If a candidate is more sensitive to one factor, then this is most likely the reason that they will leave their current company and ultimately join yours. How can we use this? So when you're recruiting, you can use it in the following way. Impact people. Take the time to talk about the work that the candidate would be doing and how it feeds into the big picture. Power people. Be clear about the seniority of the role and indicate salary range and describe how progression works in your company and how they can grow into other roles. Learning people. Outline any flexibility there is to work with other departments, highlight travel opportunities, and highlight training programs. Variety is definitely the key to these types. Teamwork people. Talk about company culture, the individuals that they will be working with, and introduce them to the team in the interview. They will appreciate knowing exactly who they will be working with and how well that team is integrated already. Work-life balance people. Highlight any policies on flexible working hours, holiday allowance, and be realistic about any predicted overtime. With your current team, you can look out for the following things. Impact people. Let's celebrate the successes and acknowledge their work. Try not to move them on from projects before they are completed. They really want to see that their work has some effect on the organization. Power people. Competition and incentives allow power people to win. So power people respond very negatively to disrespect and also to having a sense of no recognition. Learning people. Mix up their tasks and volunteer them for new things. Learning people feel trapped when doing the same task day after day. Teamwork people. Invest time in connecting with them. You will find that your teamwork people are some of the most resilient employees that you have. They are all about the team. The work comes secondary. Your teamwork people are also going to be the first to leave when you hire a toxic employee. So look out, watch their reaction to new employees, and they will give you a good sense of how well and quickly they are integrating. Work-life balance people. We're all work-life balance people. Just some of us have greater sensitivity to the needs of our private life than others. And as life is like the seasons that we go through, there are times and seasons in your life where you need to be present at home. You have other external factors which will impact your capability of working. So giving people the flexibility that they need when they need it can be a great tool at maintaining motivation and keeping hold of that talent. Because strict working hours, inflexible location requirements will lose you work-life balance people, but they will also lose you those people who are going through certain phases of their professional career where they need greater flexibility. So how do you know what they are most motivated by? Ask. When listening to people in interview, or when you're working with them around the office, you will find their key motivators drive most of what they comment on. You may have that colleague who's constantly reading books, who's constantly traveling to new destinations, is always talking about that new thing they've just learned how to do. That's clearly going to be someone who's motivated by learning. You may also have that person who's always asking after the welfare of other team members, is always remembering birthdays, is really at the center of all celebrations for everyone in the organization. Those are going to be your teamwork people. We can see by the things that people do who they are. It just takes a moment to step back and listen, and you will clearly be able to tell. We also cover this as part of our full course and have an interviewing game that helps you utilize this. Because we believe that if you can master the ability to ask great questions and then listen, you will uncover the motivators that drive everyone around you. And that will enable you to become the leader that you are capable of being. Congratulations, you've made it to the end of the module. So let's summarize what we've learned so far. Motivation is the key to attracting and harnessing talent, which leads to consistent performance. Employee motivation can be broken down into 5 main factors. That's impact, power, learning, teamwork, and work-life balance. Understanding an employee's level of sensitivity in each of the 5 areas will allow you to directly influence their level of motivation and thus improve their level of fulfillment at work. All right, so what's the key takeaway? Ask questions and listen to candidates to truly understand what most effectively drives them. This then empowers you as a leader to hire the right candidates for your firm and effectively motivate them. Thanks very much for listening to this module. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a great day, and we'll look forward to seeing you later on in our course.